Okay, so today I'm going to teach you how to make New England style stuffies or stuffed quahogs. Just takes a few ingredients. You can prepare them ahead of time. You can freeze them. You can hold them that way, or you can make them and serve them the same day. Either way, however you want to make it. So this is how I make them. I've been making them for many years, probably 30 years, and I've sold countless of them, working in various different restaurants. I've come across many different recipes, but this is the one that I've come up with myself, and this is the one that I go with. So there's, like I said, there's a ton of them out there. Take it or leave it. This is way better than the grocery store one. Alright, so all we have is onion, garlic, jalapeno. You can leave this in or take it out. I like mine spicy, so I'm going to leave it in. Celery. I got Portuguese chorizo. There's a Gas Bar brand. I don't know if it's readily available everywhere. In New England, you can get it pretty much anywhere. Ritz crackers. Panko crumbs. Red pepper, green pepper. A little bit of dry oregano. And some Old Bay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these items prepped. Then I'll come back and I'll show you exactly how to put them together. Alright, so first order of business, you want to steam your clams. I take them and I put about maybe 2 ounces of water in there. You don't want to use too much liquid because you want when they release their broth, you want it to be as concentrated as possible. I use water. You can use beer or wine, but water works just fine. So I put about 2 ounces in there. I cover them up, and then I put them on the stove to steam. Be sure to keep an eye on the clams on the stove because once it starts boiling and it starts steaming, it will boil over. So as soon as they start steaming, you want to remove the cover a little bit just to let the gas escape. As you can see, they foam up. But they pretty much steam, so I'm gonna turn them off now and then cover them back up and let them finish steaming. All right, so the chorizo, I like to just take it out of the package, and I like to crumble it ahead of time before I put it in the pan. You can always chop it up in the pan with your spatula or whatever, but I like to crumble it ahead of time. It works a little bit better, I think. All right, so now we'll take a look at the clams. I'll show you how to prep those, and we'll be able to put this whole recipe together. All right, so I like to just drain them off. And on 5 quahogs, I got about 10 ounces of pure clam juice. So that's kind of the way to do it. You can buy the cans of clam juice, but I'd rather just use the natural. I take them out. They're going to be hot, so if you want to use tongs, you can use tongs, but that doesn't bother me too much. Alright, so 5 clams. Obviously, we're going to get, 5 clams will get 10 stuffies. Because you use each side of the clam shell. So what I like to do is I like to separate them. And then I'll just put the shells back in the pan for now. You can put them anywhere you want, just to put them to the side. And I'll take the clam meats out. Alright, so I'll just put those to the side for now. So now I'll just chop these clam meats, and that's what we'll use in the stuffing. A lot of times I'll buy minced clams also to add more clam to it, but they didn't have any today, so I did buy a can of clams. I really don't like using canned clams, but in a pinch, I might. You get most of the flavor out of you get most of the flavor in this recipe out of the clam broth and the chorizo anyway. The chorizo is gonna drown out the taste of the clams. Alright, so there it is. We got all the items prepped. Mise en place, as they say. Got all the stuff in place. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the stove and we're going to throw this together. And then we'll stuff them. That'll be a done deal. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is going to melt 4 tablespoons of butter. You don't need a really big pan because most of this is going to get mixed in a bowl afterwards. Alright, so once the butter is fully melted, you want to add your onions, celery, green pepper, red pepper, and now when you want to add the jalapeno if you're going to use that. I'm not going to use it all, I'm going to use half of that. Then you want to just cook that until the onions are softened or translucent. You don't want it browned at all. So I'd say like 5 or 7 minutes. You're just gonna saute that. All right. So when it gets to about there, you can see pretty well sauteed. It's not brown. It's just sauteed. Now we're gonna add our garlic. As much as you want, a little less. You just want to mix that up, stir that around. Once you get that mixed around, now you're gonna add in your chorizo. Like I said, make it crumbling earlier. Just makes it easier because then just kind of spread it in the pan instead of trying to fight with it. All right, so I like to turn it down a little bit on this. I'll turn it down like medium high. And just cook that until it's all cooked right through. And once it's cooked, you don't want to drain it because that's where all the flavor is. So you got the butter, you got the chorizo. It's not a low-fat recipe, but it's New England. And people ask me if I can make it low-fat, and I say no, do something else. Just wouldn't be the same. All right, so once it gets cooked to this point, you see it's all fully cooked, all fully incorporated. Then I'm gonna take and I'm gonna add. I'm gonna add about half of my clam juice. The reason why I don't add it all is because I like to control the liquid once I stop mixing it with the crumbs. So I'll just add half of that right now, get it nice and moist. Then we're gonna take it off the stove and we'll take it over to our bowl. We'll mix these up. All right, so now we got that all cooked. We're gonna take it. We're gonna put it right in our bowl. Dump it all right in there. You see it right there, it's beautiful. Alright, so then you're gonna add in your clams now. They're already cooked, they're chopped. I like to add in some oregano. Mix that up pretty good. You can do it on the stove too if you'd like to. You could use fresh oregano, but it's middle of winter, so. Alright, so now we're gonna add some of our panko crumbs. I'm gonna start with maybe a half a cup first. Mix that up, see where we're at. Add another cup. I just like to keep mixing it in the bowl. Mix it right into the center. That way it'll mix up really well. Then I'll take my Ritz crackers and I just take them, squeeze them. Give that a quick mix. Now you don't want these dry, and you don't want them totally mushy either. You want them to have some substance to them, but you want them to be very moist in the middle. You don't want them gummy or gooey. You also don't want them dried out. So we'll look at this here, and then I'll add my Parmesan. That's looking like a pretty good consistency with half the clam juice. I'm gonna add a little sprinkle of Old Bay. Now go ahead and check the consistency. You can use your gloves or your hands to mix it if you like. But it's gonna be hot, so you're definitely gonna have gloves on. Alright, so this is what you want to do. You want to be able to make a patty with it. But like I said, you don't want it so moist that it's gooey. So I'm gonna add just a touch more clam juice here. Alright, so now once you get to this point, either you want to put on a fresh pair of gloves and you want to stuff them, or you can use a spoon or use your bare hands, I don't care. So if you want to use a spoon, you just kind of take a spoonful, you put it in the clam, and you just round it off. Alright, this is simple. And if you want to use your hands, obviously same idea, just a little quicker. And I don't like to pack them too tight. I like to leave them a little bit loose because when you cook them in the oven, they'll get a little bit crispy on top. And I think the not packing them so tightly helps to get that little crisp. Alright, so once you get them stuffed, then you have options. Either you can freeze them and cook them another day, or you can cook them now, or you can leave them in the fridge for, I'd say, 4 to 5 days. And then then you can cook them. So what you want to do to cook them is you want to get your oven up to 375 degrees and leave them in there for about 20-25 minutes, and then they'll come out and they'll be a little bit crispy on top. That'd be perfect. You can either serve them with hot sauce or serve them just the way they are. I taste them, they're not too spicy. You can add more jalapenos. A lot of times I also like to add red hot. I don't want to kill grandma though, so you know, you gotta take it easy. So that's that. I'm gonna bake these off. I'll come back, I'll show you what they look like all done. Alright, so I baked the stuffies in the oven at 375 degrees for 25 minutes. As you can see, they come out, they get a little char on top. Beautiful like that. I love them just like that. See? Then the only thing left to do is serve them with a little lemon wedge. You can serve them with hot sauce too, or serve them with anything you want, but I think they're spicy enough as is, but by all means. Alright, so we'll serve them with just a little bit of lemon. That's all there is to it. There you have it. New England Portuguese, or New England Portuguese inspired stuffies. Hope you enjoyed the recipe. Until next time.